So we've got Hamza Ibrahim and Shad May at the feature match for round one of the Alessandro Constructed, round eight. Um, Hamza's on Team Energy. He's been on Ramming Up Red for a while, and I think he's possibly just getting a
Yeah.
bit bored of it. Also, it is quite bad against blue-white approach, which ironically his opponent is on. These guys do test together though, so I'm assuming that's a call that Hamza made for today.
Yeah, I mean, like we said in the intro, it's a deck that's been showing its face again. He used to play the energy list before Hour of Devastation anyway. So I think he's probably just comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're gonna get right into it.
Looks like they're going for it. Having a look at their opening hands. Bristling Hydra in the front of the grip for Hamza. It looks like he's mulligan down to 6 because I see him peeking at the top card there. But we've got a Hydra Forest. Yeah. Okay, cool. So he's kept that Spy Bluff Canal on top. Shad's got a reasonable start. I can't really see his grip. This deck is, I mean, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, look at that. He's got a sensor.
Yeah, he had the sensor. His lands are looking good. Look, the deck is a lot of fluff.
Yeah, but most of the fluff cycles, and I think that's why it's actually good. Also, it seems to play similar to the blue-red control. The early turns of the game, you're doing something to just slow your opponent down, like stifle his attempts to get a board presence, and then on turn 4 you draw 2 cards, and that seems to put you ahead because then you're online to be casting Cast Out and kicked Blessed Alliances, and once you start doing that, you're not too far from going Approach of the Second Sun, and then the following turn Approach of the Second Sun again for the win.
The list also runs that one Gideon he just drew, which also just kind of slows it down. And there it is, the make draw. Hanzo's hand not really doing anything yet. I mean,
he did mulligan to 6.
He did. He can play the Hydra now probably, but it's very likely just going to run into some counters.
Yeah, but I think the Ronus gets cast out, and the Hydra is just going to get Blessed Allianced. Shad is 2 lands off of casting that approach, which I do see in his hand, and he's got plenty of card draw.
Yeah, it's interesting that he actually tapped out in this turn when he knows what the deck can do. He's
got a healthy life total though. I mean, this is the first instance of damage he's taken, and there is plenty of life gain in the deck.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, look, I mean, he could probably take like 2 hits and then just start shutting it down, then gain the 7 life again off the approach, and then...
This is definitely the last time he can take a hit from that board, though, because it's going to be big next turn.
Look, the Hydra's going to come at him. Like, the Hydra is protected once.
I think both just go in. Hydra does not get around Blessed Alliance. And if Shad's got cast out Blessed Alliance here, that is...
Is that what he's
super
doing?
Awkward.
He says...
Okay, he's gonna give Hamza the choice. He's holding up 4 mana. What do you do in this situation? I mean, the Hydra is good against spot removal, which the deck plays Cast Out with 4 copies of, I'm sure. Looking at his deck list, that's what I see.
I think what you do here is you give the Hydra +2
and
then sack Ronus. Just because you can protect the right, well, I guess not.
He might have another Hydra in hand. Let's see if I can. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he has another.
No, wait,
one.
that's a Sheltered Thicket. It's not a Bristling Hydra. Is that a Bristling Hydra? No, I think he has another Bristling Hydra in his hand, which is most likely why he made that play. Trying to bait something with that Servant of the Conduit. Maybe get some more energy for his Hydra. Possibly draw an Ether Hub and then have 3 activations for the following one.
Shad just digging for some cards.
I don't think this deck has any use for the energy. I think he's looking for 1 more land and an Approach of the Second Sun so that he's got the combo in hand. Or no, he's got 2 approaches in hand.
He's already got it.
He's on 7 mana. He's going to gain a chunk of life here. Although Ronus's pump might make it awkward, but I think he just wins this game. He's going to go to 17.
And then it's
Tuck
done.
that approach in. And I do believe he has the second one in his hand.
Yes.
So unless Hamza can find a massive amount of damage this turn, yeah, he's not even going to try because it's not possible. He should have played the Hydra previously, and he might have had something.
Well, we can have a quick look at the lists in a second.
I wonder. So Hamza's sideboard consists of an Abrade, 2 Chandras, the Flamecaller, 1 Chandra Torch of Defiance, Confiscation Coup, Negate, Radiant Flames, another Ronus, and 2 Tireless Trackers. So the things I don't think could come in is the Abrades, the Confiscation Coups, the Radiant Flames, the Ronus, but the Trackers might be good against Shad, but they shine in a slow. The thing about Shad's deck is it seems like it's a control deck, and then it just combo kills you. So there's this tension between trying to get enough resources to grind through their removal, but also coming in fast enough that they can't just go turn 7, play approach, turn 8, kill you. And that seems to be what the deck does. Yeah, so it's awkward. Shad could bring in... He's pretty solid main deck, actually.
Yeah, I guess... Actually, I don't think he brings in anything, really. I mean, the only thing that seems like it would do anything is Authority, but I don't see the point.
Yeah. Probably Regal Caracal. It's a nice mid-range creature. It blocks for an extended period of time, and it gains you a lot of life. I think the Regal Caracal comes in here. Hamza not playing a large amount of removal. Maybe because Hamza's playing Blue Shad brings in the Dispels. Possibly 1 Negate to try and mitigate the possibility of getting negated. So you could just wait a turn to approach, have Dispel backup, and then the following turn play land, have approach plus negate backup. Yeah, that could be something he does.
Probably that.
Not certain what to take out though.
I think they can probably cut a number of Fumigate. Maybe just cut 2 of those. Either Meltdown.
It's fine versus Ronus, I think.
I guess
shrinks him, and then you don't really have to because it pokes for 1. Ronus can't pump himself. An indestructible 1/5 is cool, but it's not that threatening. And in the face of an I win card like Approach to the Second Sun, I don't think it's too much of a threat. The pump is strong, and it does make for some explosive turns, but I think Gideon is fine against whatever else is on the board.
Yeah, this is a very tight list. It's kind of hard to decide what you would take out. And but I'm sure he's tasted it enough to know.
Yeah, I think he knows what's going on. What is Hamza's plan here? He needs to find damage early, and like his main deck is about as fast as the deck can get.
Yeah. Look, he doesn't need the Harness Lightning or the Abrade in this, or even the Magma Sprays for that matter. So he can
just put in more creature, another Ronus, some trackers just for damage, possibly a Flamecaller. 6 a turn is a bit. The thing is,
it's
the
probably
following
too late.
turn, the following turn, Shad can just cast approach
and then
undo what Chandra's done, and then maybe have another one.
You can you bring in the 4 negates.
I think that's possibly the best.
Probably like the trackers. The trackers, they're very slow for something that'll just go off.
It's damage. It's probably going to be better than having an Abrade in his hand. I'd rather have a tireless tracker than that.
Sure.
So you actually just take out all the instants in that deck.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. It's like there's 8 slots that you just remove because it does not do anything for this list. It runs 0 creatures. All those just target creatures. And then you. Like even maybe the torch, like Chandra Torch, because that's low. That does
some damage. I suppose if it does emblem, which is unlikely. Shad sees a lot of cards, and there are 4 copies of Cast Out. But that's a legitimate way to clock your opponent out. You just play 4 spells and they should die.
Okay, they've just presented each other. They're getting ready to start the next one. They're throwing cards.
No, I'm just
Wow.
pulled a card out of his lap, and Shad says, I'm getting suspicious.
I'm also getting concerned.
It's one of Shad's cards at that.
At least he gave a legal deck back then, hopefully. Okay, Hamza's hand seems unreasonable.
I've seen a tune,
and
I see some lands.
That's a game trail, so that's not.
Yeah, it looks
good.
like lands in a tune. I don't see a single creature there, possibly on the far left, but yeah, he looks pretty confused. Like, how does this happen?
How do you even hand?
I'm pretty sure he's going to mulligan that, but he's keeping it.
Well, I think there was a Servant of the Conduit in there as well, so maybe it helps. Shad decided not to keep his, though.
Oh, there's a Glory Bringer and a Ronus. No, is that a tracker? What is this? It's just a Ronus and a Glory Bringer and a Servant of the Conduit.
Okay. So there's some things happening.
That's pretty good. Turn 2, Servant of the Conduit. Turn 3, Ronus. Turn 4, play the Glory Bringer. Attack for a lot.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I think that would be fine, actually. And he doesn't have to attack with the Servant, so he doesn't expose it to Blessed Alliance. Did Chad just mulling it to 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, it's on 6.
Season Approach. He's got a
3
bunch of lands.
He's good. He
scries. He's got a Cycler. And whatever that was is staying on top.
He definitely wants to.
Hamza leading with
Ether Hub.
Into a tune with Ether. Use the energy, get 2 energy. Get a basic. I think that's fine. He doesn't need too much. Although it is nice to have 3 extra energy for your Hydra when it does come down. Especially with the enters the battlefield tricks, cast out in response. Just to be able to prevent your opponent from doing that.
Yeah, but he's got the Servant as well. And if that only gets used once, he still has his 3.
There she is. Goes up to 4 energy.
Nice. And he is off.
Resting Hydra early would be very nice here. Since Hamza has a extra body to attack with, he can get through a chunk of 4 damage and sack the Servant of the Conduit. But I do think he plays the Ronus now. Oh no, he does have a Hydra.
He's probably going for that Hydra. He shows
him a forest. And that's the Bristling Hydra right there.
And it's trigger on the stack and not. He didn't get.
I think he's just missed that. Yeah, he didn't get his energy out of it. Oh dear. Oh,
that is uncomfortable.
I think he'll notice a bit later, but that's not going to be fun.
That's too late. He's missed the trigger.
Yeah, I think he knows it happened. He's just not interested in acknowledging that he made a mistake.
Shad has a Cast Out and looks like a Blessed Alliance in hand.
Yeah, I think he's going to have that Blessed Alliance happen soon. Shad asking, where's the energy from the Bristling Hydra? They're just calling a judge over to try and rectify the situation. But both players have just realized that Hamza missed the
energy trigger
on Bristling Hydra.
He's not going to get it back.
I don't think so.
It's unfortunately too late.
We should find out what.
And nope, you missed the trigger. Sorry for you.
Yeah, so the ruling is that there's no energy for either of them. Sorry, we were just trying to listen to what they were saying. So that period of silence was us attentively listening to what the judge was saying. I think the Glory Bringer sticks and it just goes sideways. And the Hydra goes sideways as well.
So
and Shad takes 8 points of damage there, which is a fair amount.
That is quite a fair amount for turn 4.
Protected from Blessed Alliance next turn by attacking with Servant to the Conduit.
And he does exactly that. Comes in for 10. Cast out target.
Cast out on the Hydra, I believe.
Yeah, you'll take the Hydra. Because it's not protected.
It must be.
Okay, so there's 6.
Slowly climbing the hill. Shad in a bit of trouble here, facing down lethal next turn.
And it doesn't look like he's got enough to do.
I see a Glimmer. I see a Fumigate.
Okay, if he has land,
he's got plenty of lands.
Wonderful. So he can Fumigate now.
It is the Fumigate, certainly.
Gaining him 2
Potentially
back.
Goes to 8. Hamza's still on 20 points of life. Unfortunately, missing that trigger from the Bristling Hydra did cost him a little bit. But he's just got another Glory Bringer.
And that is
hurtful.
hurtful.
For 4. And that's half of Shad's life. And he's really got to find another answer here. 6 mana just shy of casting Approach of the Second Sun to gain 7 life. And I just see a Glimmer of Genius in his hand. He could Glimmer into a Blessed Alliance and be alive. And he's doing that main phase because it's important for this deck to make the land drops. And I suspect every land in his hand is a tapped land. He's going to tuck those to the bottom.
No, he's got basics. Basic.
But he left one of them on top. That's an Immolating Glare.
That is great.
That'll do. Plays his land. Shad inquiring if Hamza perhaps has the 3rd Glory Bringer in his hand, which should make it lethal. Hamza probably well aware that Shad is representing some sort of removal spell with the 2 mana that he's left untapped. I see you, blue-white mage. Combat removal
trickery.
Stuff.
He's got a
any 2 mana spell in Shad's deck except for the Censor would actually do the trick here. Ether Meltdown, Immolating Glare, Blessed Alliance, all manages the situation
quite nicely.
And buys him the turn he needs to gain 7 life. That's a Servant.
He gets the Servant and...
He must attack. I don't think he can afford to play around Blessed Alliance or Immolating Glare by not swinging.
Yeah. I think his plan...
He's making a wider board here. Possibly overextending into a Fumigate, but he doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, I think it's probably safer to have as many bodies out as possible so that the non-targeted removal like Blessed Alliance and Immolating Glare don't actually blow him out of the water.
He did just pass back.
Yeah, he did. It's like I said, it's the safest play for him at this stage.
Well, Shad could gain 7, go to 11 points of life.
Yeah, but then he's taking...
And then Hamza's got 9 on board if he pumps the cub.
He's also possibly has another Hydra in hand, and he won't forget that energy, which makes it 11.
Fair enough. So if Shad casts an approach here, he may just lose, and he does have it in his hand. So, yeah, if he's smart and he reads the game, he might understand. No, he's just going for it.
He's just doing it, hoping for the best.
And I believe that it means Shad is dead on board. Well, not on board, but with what he shows it to him, and Shad picks up his cards.
He knows. And
smart play by Hamza, not attacking into what he knows is only removal that works in the combat step. Keeping the Glory Bringer around, and then presenting precisely lethal, even through the Approach of the Second Sun.
That was a very, very good play. I think maybe a bit lucky as well. Shad was very light on removal in the early game, and he did get a turn 3 Hydra into a turn 4.
I think possibly... what could he have done differently there? Is not play the Approach of the Second Sun at that moment.
He still only had the one.
Yeah, only the one removal spell, so there was no way around it.
Yeah, he's still going to take at least a 4 then from the others.
Yeah,
probably,
super lethal.
probably 6 because the servant would have been sacrificed.
Just dead.
Just dead.
It looks like Shad's changing his plans on the play. He's got the Gideon right at the front there, wondering, is this guy good enough? Can it actually beat a Bristling Hydra? I suspect it could. I mean, Gideon it forces the trigger on or the activation on Bristling Hydra on every plus, which is 3 energy that Hamza has to use.
Otherwise,
meaning Shad can respond with a cast out to get rid of it.
Yeah, I guess it's fine. Looks like he's taking out dispels and negates, actually.
The real Caracal's still sitting in his sideboard there.
Yeah.
I think he should be bringing those in. They're quite good against a mid-range board. Without Ronus, none of Hamza's creatures really get through a 1/1 or a 2/2 lifelinker. So Shad can just chomp for a while.
Still in the tank. Not sure what he's looking for now.
Shad commenting, and got lots of time, and he's just gonna think about his sideboard real good. He did put in an authority. It's interesting. I don't think that would be the correct play. I mean, it slows down the Glory Bringer. And the power of Glory Bringer is mostly that it is 4 haste power in the air, but you've got the option to shoot something on the ground, and it's maybe not the best option to have against Shad because there's nothing to shoot.
Yeah, Hamza also now going back into this box. There's
you're sideboarding? Yeah, me too.
There's a lot of sideboarding happening here. This is it's tight matches. I'm like,
yeah, blue-white approach is, from the little bit of testing I've had with it, likely excellent against any creature-based deck. And that seems to be the format at the moment. So, I mean, Shad it looks like he's just trimmed an immolating glare.
That is interesting. Also, Gideon's out.
Okay, he has cut the Gideon.
And yeah, that's pretty much...
It looks like Hamza's ready to go. Shad just having like a once more over of his deck.
Small existential crisis.
That's he's not interested in that sensor. I don't think it's as good against this deck as it would be against perhaps a zombies build or mono red.
Yeah, which wants everything on curve.
On curve, yeah. The energy deck can play things later and they'll have just as much impact because the bodies are larger. So, a 4/4 on turn 4 or on turn 6, it's still kind of impactful, whereas a late 1/1 with haste is not really that good. So, if you break up this deck's curve, it might not suffer as much as the more aggressive creature decks.
And yeah, having tested against the mono red with the approach, it's really, really painful shutting it down.
And they're ready to go. Finally done.
Finally,
so I'm just looking through his sideboard one more time, making sure. Just hang on. Let me think about this. Okay, he's putting it away.
Okay, please stop, Shad.
Let's go.
It's enough. There's only so many cards in your sideboard. Let's see how game 3 goes. Shad's on the play.
How are these guys looking on the log, by the way? I believe both Shad hasn't earned his invite yet. Hamza has?
Yeah, Hamza's already won a previous event, so has his invite. Shad is midway down the log, so he will get invited.
Yeah, he should be in based on standings, but if he wants a bye, I think This is...
I don't think he can get a bye. He can get an auto invite, but if he wins today or in the next two, but
surely winning today would put him up considerably in the standings. Hamza opening his board with a long tusk cub, has some energy around. I think he's just gonna apply a moderate amount of pressure with the cub. Boop, and it's a Blessed Alliance.
oh,
Potentially backbreaking for Hamza. He's got a slowish start. That's a rogue refiner.
That is,
get some value.
that is helpful. Get some things.
Use an energy. Get 2 energy.
Get a card.
Shad is sitting at 10th on the log with 42 points. The top spot being 81. Sharif Hartley, 9 events attended. Really grinding there. But yeah, I don't know if Shad wins this event, how far up he'll go. We do have a large amount of players. I think Shad is just going to take the 3 points. Yeah, he did.
When Hamza gets a clue.
He did bring in the tracker.
I think it's fine. Like you wanna stay ahead on cards. Try to get it as deep as possible, as soon as possible.
Hands. I mean, he's
Fumigate.
Pickle here. Okay, the fumigate is
It's
nice.
probably going down right away.
Hamza loses no cards if that exchange though. Tracker would draw him another card. Rogue Refiner already paid for its rent. What you got in? Oh wow, these guys. Hamza asking, what's in your hand? Shad, I have a pen. I have a pen.
Okay.
He's now got a packet of chips in his hand. Shameless plugging and advertising for Simba chips there. We're not affiliated with them. Shad just likes eating.
Okay, Hamza not doing much for some reason. Do you think that is the correct play here?
What, Rona's first, then swing?
No, not using the clues to just get as much in as possible. Because he must know this. Like he knows
couldn't cast Ronus then, and next turn he swings for lethal. But there's a fumigate.
And Shad gains 3. I believe. It doesn't care that the Ronus didn't die.
Not lethal. Hamza could potentially attack for 15 the following turn. Whereas if he'd not played the Ronus and cracked the clue, it would have been 7 now, 7 the following turn.
Sure.
Glory.
Oh.
Lots of damage there. 9 points, putting Shad down to 5. And if he's got the second Glory Bringer in hand, I don't think Shad can actually get out of this. He doesn't have enough mana to cast Approach. Even a Blessed Alliance with the kicker is okay.
Shad's actually on 4. We quickly checked. Fumigate says it has to be destroyed for the life of the game.
Okay, fair enough. Each creature destroyed this way, I understand. He did get another point of life.
Oh, and there it is. It's done.
There's the Hydra.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could have done this better. Yeah, you killed me, but
it
you
could have
tapped
been
wrong.
better. So yeah, interesting deck.
Yeah, I like the bristling Hydra against, and Glorybringer seems to be the most effective card that Hamza has against Shad, just because it turns Ronus on immediately
And
and
makes
it hits for 9. You
Yeah.
know, this is a sizable chunk. It's more life than Shad can gain from the approach of the second sun.
It's just like it's a positive hit on something that really just wants to grind the game out. I think it was pretty good.
Did he bring in the caracals? Shad's showing Hamza the Regal Caracal. I think that's what he changed out for the censor, like at the last moment.
Sure.
Put in a Descend upon the Sinful as well to try and deal with the Ronus because it exiles, it doesn't destroy.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so
Another win for Hamza,
yeah.
and Shad's out of winning this event.
And we'll be back for round 2.